Now we are going to welcome our Chief Guest, Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Carlin Gilchrist.
All right, this is very exciting. Congratulations, 4.0 students. And I also want to congratulate everyone who has supported these students for their entire lives to make sure they can be prepared to be the best selves. Parents, grandparents, neighbors, friends, family, uncles, aunties, strangers, everybody who came together to make sure that our kids in Detroit Public Schools Community District can have what they need to be successful. This is personal to me because my children are students at an elementary school in Detroit Public Schools Community District at Edmondson on the west side. I'm a kid who went to elementary school at Chrysler, Golightly, and Fitzgerald in Detroit Public Schools Community District. I share that with you because when we're doing our best work, when me and Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the leadership of Angelique Peterson Mayberry and the Detroit Public Schools Community District Board, Principal Coleman, your assistant principal, when everyone is doing our best work and we're coming together with amazing community leaders and partners, everything is possible. Every success is available to our children and to our families. Every child will be able to read, write, add, subtract, learn, and lead when we do everything available to us. So I just want you to know, all of you, that Governor Gretchen Whitmer and I support, without any question, this community. We are so proud of the community surrounding Davison. We are so proud of the Bangladeshi American community in particular, and your contributions to our culture and our future here in the state of Michigan, and we have your back. And for every child who may not be a 4.0 student this year, well, next year we're going to make sure that you have the resources you need to be that. Governor Whitmer and I, we have proposed spending millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to make sure that you have everything that you want and need and can dream of. So thank you for welcoming me here, Doctor. Thank you, and God bless all of you in this community. God bless Detroit Public Schools, the state of Michigan, and Davison Elementary.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for your encouraging words. Now we welcome Ms. Angelique Peterson Mayberry for her speech, President, DPS City Board of Education. Please welcome her.
Good afternoon, Davison Elementary Middle School. Give it up! This is indeed what partnership looks like. This is indeed what collaboration looks like. And as we look around the room, this is indeed what excellence looks like. It is achievable in DPSCD, and we heard the Lieutenant Governor talk about what is possible when we get it, when people get it. They get the challenges, they provide the resources, and we will make sure that you all are in a space where our young people continue to rise. Because when students rise, we all rise, right? So on behalf of 6 other amazing women and myself on the Board of Education for Detroit Public Schools Community District, to the parents, the guardians, and the support system, I say thank you for allowing DPSCD to educate your young person. We know that education looks a little different now than it did before. I'm celebrating my 30-year class reunion from Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School because I too am a product of DPSC. It was DPS then, but public education. Public education, it does work. We have no opportunity for failure when it comes to our young people. So we will continue to fight relentlessly to make sure that they have what they need so they can succeed. You parents, guardians, support system, you could have chosen any school district and any school across this city and this state to educate your young people, but you chose us. That is something we don't take lightly, and we will forever be indebted to you for allowing us your most prized possession. To our young people, you know, as you look around the room, you did the work, but these people helped. So whether it was the staff at Davison or the support system at your house, I want all the young people to give the support system a round of applause for helping. Yes, I hear thank yous, and that gratitude is something that we are showing you because we absolutely care. Thank you, Principal Coleman, for allowing me the opportunity. I've had several meetings today, but these type of meetings are always the most heartfelt meetings that give me the intrinsic reward. So on the inside, when the superintendent and the board team are going back and forth and battling sometimes, and decisions are made that we may not necessarily know, is this right? But to look around the room, we will continue to do what we need to do for these young people. So again, thank you so much on behalf of the Board of Education. Thank you, Davison staff. Thank you so much to all of our partners, because we can't do this without you. If you say you only have 1 child in the district, no, we have almost 50 children in the district, and whether you gave birth to them or not, they're ours and they deserve us to fight for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your wonderful speech, DPSCD Board President, Ms. Angelique Peterson Mayberry. Now we welcome Mr. Luis Solano, Deputy Superintendent, DPSCD. Please welcome him.
Take the mask off. Good afternoon, everyone. So it is always wonderful to come to a place like this, a small school like the one that I attended when I was the age of your children. In looking at a lot of you here, you remind me of my upbringing. My parents gave the little bit that they had for the possibility of a better tomorrow in another country. If it wasn't for their hard work, their determination, their willingness to give all that they could so that I could get the education that I received to be here today, I would not be here. So I would be remiss if I don't ask you parents to stand up for a minute so that we can honor your work and your commitment to your children. So parents, please stand so that we can honor Thank you. And students, if these are your parents here, make sure that you give all that you can every single day to make their dreams come through you. So with that, thank you for having me. It's an honor, a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech. Now we welcome Dr. Abdul Saeed, Public Health Expert in Michigan 2018, please.
ডক্টর আব্দুল আমাদের যে 2018 এর যে গভর্নর ইলেকশন হয়েছিল তার প্রাইমারিতে সেকেন্ড বুঝছেন ক্যান্ডিডেট অফ গভর্নর বাট হি টু সেকেন্ড
All right, good afternoon. Y'all any more than that? Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa
I
barakatuh.
just want to tell you how deeply honored I am to be here with you today. For all of the students, I want to speak with you all.
Do not
first.
hear
I
how
need
he
you to
says
pay attention
assalamu
real
alaikum.
quick. What you all did to be here today is not something you did one day. It's not something you even did for 1 week. It's something that you did the entire year. And it took time, it took effort. We all know that there are so many other things you could have done. All of those times you wanted to play outside, all those times you wanted to play video games, watch TV, whatever it is, you decided that you're going to use that time to build your mind to study. And every single person here today, every single one sees you for what you did, for what you chose. And I just want to tell you how absolutely proud we are of you. You, every single one of you, you're the hopes and dreams of the adults that are here with you today. Every single one. So for all the parents, all the supporters, I want you to give your young people a round of applause, please. Now I want to tell you, I was lucky enough when I was little to be in a couple of awards like this. When I graduated from the University of Michigan, I got to give the student commencement speech, to speak at my graduation. But it wasn't my achievement alone. You know why? Because I want to tell you a story about one of the most important people in my life. He was born in Alexandria, Egypt. Y'all know where that is? Northeast corner of Africa. His dad sold vegetables in a fish market. His mom didn't know how to read. And every day he knew he wanted to live a different life than the one that he had. And his parents wanted that for him too. But at the same time, the family didn't have much. So he also had to work. And they lived in an apartment complex on the top floor. And he had 5 brothers and sisters. And they had 1 bedroom in their house. So every night after his siblings would go to sleep, he would go up to the rooftop. And he would study, and he would study, and he would study. And when he graduated, he finally graduated, he got an opportunity to come study in the United States of America. That person is my dad. And I would go back to Egypt when I was a little kid. I would travel back there, and I remember going up at night, the place where my father studied my future into existence. And that's the thing, when I grew up, my parents would tell me go study. And I'd have the same excuse, I'm tired, I want to hang out with my friends, I want to play video games, I want to watch TV. And one time, I wasn't doing as well in school, and I was in Egypt over the summer, and my grandmother sat me down and she said, you know what? Your dad would beg us to let him go study early, because he knew that he could build something, and he built you. So you all have worked hard for this. You've given effort for this. You've chosen this over all of the things you could have done to have a lot of fun. But here's the thing. I want you to understand, every single one of these people here in front of you today, your parents, your loved ones, they put in just as much effort to get you here. So I'm going to ask all the students, once again, I want you to give a big round of applause for your parents and your loved ones here today for you. I just want to finish up with one note for the parents here. I can't claim to know what I'm doing parenting. I have 1 kid, she's 4. And that's hard enough. But I will say that sometimes, as we think about what we hope for our kids, sometimes we don't really imagine what they'll be. And a mentor of mine told me one time when I was about to have my own kid, he said, having a kid is like planting a seed. Only you don't know what kind of seed you're gonna get, what kind of tree it's gonna grow, what direction it's gonna grow in, and what it's gonna wanna do. The best you can do is plant the seed, hope the soil is good, and water it whenever you can. Now here's the amazing thing. I see a lot of folks who remind me of my own father. People who grew up in a place that wasn't this one. And I know it is scary to raise your kids in a community that's very different than the one you grew up in. I can't even imagine. But I also know that the soil you're planting in is a different soil. It can grow trees taller than the ones you ever even imagined. And sometimes it's on the plant to know what it's going to be. So as you imagine your kids' future, you've done all this work to get them here, to get them to love an education, to do that work of growing. And sometimes the goals you might have for your kids may even be smaller than the goals they have for themselves. So as you think about who your kids are going to become, as you water that tree, I'm asking you also to trust that tree to grow in the soil that it's situated. We often talk, and I'm speaking specifically to my fellow Muslim community members here for a second. We often get frustrated. We ask who's telling our story, who's writing about our challenges. And I know this is something that's shared among all these communities. But oftentimes when we ask what we want for our kids, we have very few limited options. You either become a doctor, or an engineer, or maybe you go into business. Your kids, they've got all kinds of aptitude. And they're going to be the ones building the future that they're going to live in. So my only note is to say this. You have done an amazing job. You water these plants, and they're growing up strong and sturdy, and they're finding the sun. And that's a beautiful thing. And as they keep going, let them find the sun that they choose. Because the future that they built, that's going to be the future that they live in. And on us is just to say, look, I'm planting my seed and hoping for the best, doing my best watering. So with that, I am so grateful for the opportunity to spend some time here with you today. So grateful for all of you, every single one of you young people who decided to do the work, to be excellent, to excel, to build your mind. We're counting on what you're going to do in the future. And your parents, well, they're the ones who've done the real work. They're the real MVPs, as we say. So thank you so much. I deeply appreciate the opportunity to be here, and keep on going. We need you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Said, for sharing your own life history. We hope you learned something. Hasan, Vice Chair, Michigan Democratic Party and founder, Michigan Bangladeshi American Democratic Congress. Welcome.
I think most of us know him, right? Please raise your hand. No. He is helping us with this program, inviting the governor and the Dr. Abdul. And also he is the founder of Bangladeshi American Democratic Caucus and Vice President of the Democratic Party Michigan. আমাদের যেগুলো প্রয়োজনে যেগুলো সময় তাকে আমরা পাই বিশেষ করে এই প্রোগ্রাম করার জন্য আমি তার হেল্প নিয়েছি তাকে বলার জন্য আমি তো গভর্নরকে দেওয়া দিতে পারবো না বা আমার দেওয়া জানি তো সো অল দিস প্রোগ্রাম ওয়ান অফ দ্য পার্ট তার পাওয়াই যে আমরা তাকে আবার হাতটা রেখে
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Dr. Shiraz, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today with the Lieutenant Governor of Michigan, with my best friend, Dr. Abdul Syed, and thank our Detroit Public School President, Madam Angelica, and Principal Mr. Endo, and Assistant Principal Deputy Superintendent. Thank you for joining us. It is a quite honor to stand here and see so many students of different communities receiving the 4-point award. Not only the flag, the certificate, the money, whatever you have, you earn it. I want to thank Dr. Shiraz, who initiated this program. I know when he started it in 2004, since then he doesn't stop. He keeps going and making it every year, making it more inclusive, of bringing all the different communities and the leadership, school district leadership, and our elected officials into this program to showcase the students who are today a 4-pointer of 8th graders, 7th graders, 5th graders, 6th graders. They are our future leaders. I can see many of our future leaders who can be a president of these United States of America, who can be a senator, who can be a congressman, who can be in any public service, including doctors, engineers, or even maybe attorney. You choose it. Whatever you set for, you're going to make it happen. We know it. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes the entire community to educate a child here. So we have to thank our school district, leadership. We have to thank our principals, vice principals, and our teachers. We have to thank our parents who are there always with you, our students, their siblings, and all the community members, making it happen for you one step at a time. You know, this governor and lieutenant governor have done historic investment in Michigan for K-12 grader, the highest investment. And I hope to see the gaps are closing between the different school districts in Michigan and across Michigan. And this is why we brought and invited our lieutenant governor and the party leadership to see their investment and their work in the work. That is, this school, the teacher, the parents are producing tomorrow's leader who is the 4-pointer and who is going to make a difference when they grow up. With this, I thank you again. My sincere thanks to the school board and the principal, the vice principal, and Dr. Shiraz, and all the other teachers here, the parents, and you all for inviting me and giving me the chance to stand here, share my gratitude with you. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Hasan, for your valuable speech. Now we welcome Best Principal Award winner, our principal, Mr. Randall Coleman.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. I'll be very brief. I see my students are getting a little antsy. They've been standing for a while, so I want to start with presenting a message to them personally, my 3rd through 8th graders. I want to give you a piece of information that you might not have known, but you can carry this piece of information moving forth the rest of your educational career. I obviously went to school, kindergarten through 8th grade. I went to high school, DPS, Henry Ford High School. I went to Michigan State University. I went to University of Detroit to get my first master's. I went to Madonna University to get my 2nd master. And guess what? Mr. Coleman never got a 4.0 GPA. I tell you all that because you've already achieved something that your principal, your leader, your school leader never got the opportunity to do. I came close a couple of times, but I never got that 4.0 all A's. Like the other presenters have said to you, that's something special. I think you know it's something special. We are going to continue to tell you and encourage you that that is indeed something special. you guys already have something deep within inside you. Okay? I was going to come up here and tell you that I'm full. I'm not full here. I'm full here. Okay? Because those are the days where you don't want to get out of bed early in the morning. It's still dark. Oftentimes, we get home, it's still dark. Okay? Summertime's a little different, but in the wintertime, leave when it's dark, get home when it's dark. Because most of my time is spent here trying to think of the best ways to keep you guys safe, to keep you encouraged, to keep you smart, and to keep pushing. And I know a couple of presenters already said it, but I cannot stand here as a school leader without thanking the people that you see around this room that come fight this battle with me every day. Some of them have left because they have children and other obligations, but if you are here in this room and you are an employee at Davison Elementary Middle School, please raise your hand, wave, tap dance, tap, do something, because you guys made it happen. I appreciate you. Our parents appreciate you guys. Students, keep doing the great work that you are doing. Keep encouraging your classmates because you guys are leaders. My 8th graders, we're my 8th graders. We're my 8th graders. All right, I see you in the back. You guys are getting ready to move on. Cass, King, Renaissance, some of these excellent DPSCD high schools continue to do the job that you're doing here. Davison has taught you well, and I can't count how many times some of our former students who are sitting in this audience have come back and told us, you guys prepared us for middle school. You guys, for high school. You guys prepared us for college. You guys prepared us for life. So when I hear those words, that's what gives me an extra year, extra 5 years, extra 10 years to know that I am on the right path, doing the right thing with the right people. So with that being said, I thank the students, I thank the parents and guardians. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman, not only for your speech, but for your dedication to us. Thank you. Now we welcome our Assistant Principal, Mr. Darren McClellan. Mr. Mac.
You guys put me on the spot. I didn't expect to speak today. I don't want to follow a few polls, but I'll try. I want to say you guys have achieved something great. It's not easy to do the right thing, especially when some others around you choose not to. What's right is not always popular, and what's popular is not always right. But you guys have the courage to be leaders. You have the courage to do what's right all the time, not just when people are watching. I say it to my students all the time. What do you do when no one is looking? And it is clear, the data is back, it is clear that you guys do the right thing when no one is watching, and I applaud you for that, and I'm proud of you. Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. Now, next we are going to distribute plaques to our honorable guests. First, Ms. Angela Peterson Mayberry. Next, Mr. Luis Solano. Then Dr. Abdullah Saeed. Next, Dr. Shaheen. Dr. Shaheen Hasan. Then our principal, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Mayor.
Now we are done almost. Again, Assalamu alaikum all of you for coming here, all the students, teachers and the guests. We are thankful to all of you. We have light refreshment at the back. So you know, according to our culture, we always allow guests first. So I will invite our guests to go here to food table, and আমি বাংলাদেশের আমাদের প্যারেন্টদেরকে বুঝাইতেছি যে কথাটা এটা আমরা করতেছি 2004 থেকে আপনাদের বাচ্চাদেরকে উৎসাহিত করার জন্য। কারণ আপনারা যদি মনে করেন যে এটা উৎসাহিত হওয়া উপকারী উপকার এবং আপনারা দেখতেছেন রেজাল্ট, যারা উৎসাহ পাইছে আগে those who are 4.0 they are keeping it always. From the beginning of the year, তারা শুরু করে যে আমি পাইতাম। এটা আপনার ফোর্সফুল এই কিডস ডোন্ট গো আউটসাইড, তারা তো ফুড নিব। Let's start guest first. Okay. Thank you very much for your coming. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.